Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here's Robinson. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And complete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A huge play there. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph. 58 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here comes onto the field. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They've got his man complete. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Boyle, he's going to loft one deep left side here. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Following the interception, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're going to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Breaks the tackle, now an alley. Still going, they can't stop him. A big play there out of Cook. 46 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They run again on 1st down. Cook working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that they were able to get him outside of the first round and plug him into the lineup. They expect him to be big time in this season.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On second down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the...
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 52 yards. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Looking to throw on second down. Boyle dancing to his left. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Here's Robinson. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Cook following the penalty, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Ross on the return. A great return there. Bob and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off play action. Boyle, he's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. He's going to loft one. Deep left for Notre Dame man Equinemius St. Brown. That is touchdown number 1 in his NFL career, as his guys have now moved out in front. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistent.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Yeah, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right down behind center. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
We'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Off the play fake. Boyle lets this one rip toward Graham. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. From the gun, Boyle into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Play action now. Cousins going deep for Diggs. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Packers get set to go. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Off play action. Boyle, he's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter as that's a first down. And defensively, they're going to have to do something about him in a hurry because that last catch puts him over the 100-yard mark. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake. Boyle, he'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled up.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play for the Pack on third. 48 yards. Off play action. Boyle. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 84 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Trevor Davis now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Got it Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Off the play fake. Boyle. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. They give him a gain of 38. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Off play action. Boyle steps away to his left. And the ball is knocked out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Right. Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore. When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards, but after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we're going to have to go for the hot dogs.
Now a run with Cook, and they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Oh, had to get it out quickly, but that is going to be a safety. And a blocked punt always can be such a momentum swing.
In a big way, because now the spark has been lit. Everyone gets involved with that team, and many times coaches preach, you block a punt, you block a kick, that usually leads to victory.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Boyle. He's going to loft one. Deep left. And that's caught inside the 35. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing on 1st down. Boyle. And he whips that one incomplete there. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Off play action. Boyle. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On 4th down, Boyle. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. This is intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Back to throw. Boyle going deep downfield, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers add on to their lead.
And remember, Parker, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Handoff comes to Cook. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st down, here's Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Kentrell Bryce picks it, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Anderson Aho. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They run the counter with Cook. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. We get a look at Equinemius St. Brown as he and the rest of the crew march out on the field. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch.
Gone!
Off the play fake. Boyle. And left side here, it's Graham. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Detroit!
Off play action. Boyle. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Off the play fake. Boyle. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Detroit!
Off play action. Boyle eluding the pressure right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A nice gain of 21 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Off the play fake. Boyle, he's going to rifle one deep left side. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Off play action. Boyle. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Anderson Dejo. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. Off the play fake. Boyle. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Detroit! Here we go now.
Throwing again. Boyle. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Looking to throw. Boyle. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Off play action. Boyle. Gets it to Strong. Touchdown, Packers. Jalen Strong, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
If these guys are going to chomp into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Boyle. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He's going to rifle one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The gain of 39 that time. Off the play fake. Boyle looking for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, Boyle. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Cousins now. And this one is incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Looking to throw. Boyle. He's got him in. Complete. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Equanimous St. Brown, 88 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Robinson. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Play action. Boyle. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Going up top. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 57 yards. Off the play fake. Boyle. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. His throw caught at about the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, a 22. Operating from the gun. Boyle. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
To throw on second down. Boyle forced out to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ben Gideon able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
From the gun on third down. Boyle. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. From the gun, Boyle. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers continue to roll.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Cook able to escape. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Having an arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And he knocks it through.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter.
All right, here we go. Green.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 45 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Back to the Philly. Here we go.
Off play action. Boyle. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Anderson Dejo. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Cousins on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw, Cousins. Incomplete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. That catch good for 5. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Cousins, he's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A first down throw for Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Cousins now from the 50. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Josh Jackson, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Off the play fake. Boyle. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And this return's going to go backwards about 8 yards, but the interception is good, and they have the football. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And it's complete to Mitchell. Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. Now the ball comes loose, and this is going to be Packer football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. but it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the...
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 50 yards. They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Packers are pouring it on. And he'll bang that one through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A huge play there. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Off play action. Boyle. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Boyle. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are. They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now they'll run. Murray. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Now, he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. This one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Oh, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on and it's 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Back to throw. Boyle. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Time for a break. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And they can't bring him down. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And now here's another interception. Picked off down at the 10. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful.
Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man, complete. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 41 yards. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before.
And now here's another interception. First career pick for the rookie Josh Jackson. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Vikings. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play. Came across.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, Boyle. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Holding. Defense.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Big hold of the 30. Wide open receiver complete. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First down, here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.